This week on the American Crappie Trail.
Getting ready to go catch some crappie today.
Day one on Truman Lake saw our field bring in some big crappie.
See, they're saying jump up there, 1091. Right now you guys are in the lead.
As the water level on Truman Reservoir stabilizes, the fishing heats up. It's the final day of the American Crappie Trail from Truman Lake, presented by Martin Metal and Rockport Rattler.
Welcome to Championship Saturday here on the American Crappie Trail. We're here on Truman Reservoir, and this is the day we're going to pick our champion.
Absolutely, Sam. A Ranger boat's going to be given away. The tension this morning, it was high.
We give them a couple hours. If they don't bite, we're going to start running and gunning.
We're not going to try to go upriver.
Just grind it, do the same thing I did yesterday.
If we can't seem to give them the bite, we'll have to come up with a different plan and try something different.
If the fish will cooperate, I think we're sitting good. But we're against the best in the world, not the country, not the state, the world right here today.
It's anybody's ball game. You know, whoever gets the right bites today is going to win.
The guys did not know whether they could duplicate what they did on day one for day two.
Yeah.
And when we're talking about crappie fishing, it's a game of ounces.
And the fish yesterday looked so good and were so healthy. You know, I look for a string over 10 pounds again today.
It's going to take somewhere over 20 to 21 pounds to win.
So whatever you do, don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with Championship Saturday here on American Crappie Trail. See who's going to win that new Ranger boat with that Evinrude motor on it.
As the sun peeks over the trees, the teams prepare for day two of the American Crappie Trail from Truman Reservoir.
We got about 1 minute. 1 minute till we start fishing.
The top 10 from day one reads like a who's who in crappie fishing. Dant and Zufall lead by less than 0.2 of a pound over David Cox and Steve Hockett. Our leaders for Angler Team of the Year, Caps and Coleman, are third, with Team Bunting just an ounce behind them. Kent Watson and Matthew Outlaw, third in the Angler Team of the Year race, sit in fifth, with Blackley and Van Cleve just an ounce behind them, and second in the Angler Team of the Year race. With the top 10 separated by less than a pound, the team that can adjust to the changing conditions will take home the lion's share of the $55,000 purse.
Typically on Truman in the summertime, the fish are high in the water column early in the mornings, and as the sun gets up, it'll drive them deeper. So typically we will fish shallower in the mornings in the water column, and then work our way down as the day goes on. The crappie tournaments, we fish for first place. So to win this against, some of the best crappie fishermen in the country, it'd be a great deal.
Never won a boat before, I'll take that.
First fish, like to see a little bigger, we're got the day started.
Our leaders, Jim Dant and Don Zufall, are picking up where they left off yesterday.
We're up here on beautiful Truman Lake today fishing a hardwood hedge tree row. This is basically where we fished all day yesterday also. Caught most of our fish probably 5 to 6 foot deep using a Bobby Garland slab slayer 3-inch with a pink and an orange head. This is what they call June bug color. And when they hit it, it's like a lightning bolt. It just shakes your pole. There's lots of brush piles in between these trees. It don't seem like these fish are on the brush piles. They're right on the hardwood itself. You have to hold that jig right on the tree to get a bite. Right now we got 4 tournament fish in our live well and probably fished about 50 yards of this tree row. Take that. That fish will probably weigh a pound.
Fourth place, Charlie and Travis Bunting are spider rigging a small flat in the Upper Grand arm of Truman Lake.
The sunshine's kind of pushing them down in the water column, which I'm thinking might help us later in the day if we decide not to stay here and we start running beds. But I don't think the bite's really changed. I mean, it's slow, but it wasn't on fire yesterday either. We hit some You know, we hit some flurries yesterday that helped us out and stuff, but it just seems like every fish we catch is a quarter pound lighter than what we caught yesterday.
Paul Alpers and Clint Hibden, 7th after day 1, are hoping to make up the 0.8 of a pound deficit and take home an ACT trophy.
It would mean the world if Clint and I had went one together. We haven't fished together until this year. We went to school together, and both of us have won several tournaments. Once you win a tournament, or I won the Classic in 1984, which was 33 years ago, you never get it out of your blood. I mean, and you never, you know, I always told somebody, if you don't get excited going hunting or fishing, then you ought to quit. Because I'm just like a 6-year-old kid still out here in the boat when I catch a big fish, you know, and so was Clint. And I think that's what keeps everybody going. But it mean a lot. Maybe history will repeat itself.
3rd place, Steve Coleman and Ronnie Capps have a nice limit in the boat already this morning.
We got the base weight here, which is about 840 on an average fish. We really just need some big bites right now. We got a good solid stringer of fish, but we don't have those kicker fish, if you will. Oh, we need a monster. We need a monster.
Typical tree fish, but he has a problem. He has one eye.
There's not one. That's won't need it. That won't need it, Stevie. Get him out of there. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. He is 12 and a half, 12 and 3/4. I doubt we need him. But anyway, he's a pretty little fish.
The local team of David Cox and Steve Hockett know how finicky the crappie on Truman can be.
We fished Truman for 20 plus years, and we'll fish a tournament one day and then another tournament the next day, or same 2-day tournaments. And typically we don't catch this fish doing the same thing or in the same areas, you know, both days. Got to fish what you think's right, and hope it works out.
A little closer.
7, 8.
He's in the boat, in the net.
Early success for most of the teams means it's anyone's ball game on Championship Saturday on the American Crappie Trail from Truman Reservoir.
Lucas Oil's Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Outboard Engine Oil will not only produce a level of confidence with each trip to the lake, but also provide trust backed by rigorous testing on the track as well as on the water. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Oil has an extensive additive package that will provide clean burning, smooth running, and maximum performance stability to any outboard on the market today. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-Cycle Oil will not void your manufacturer's warranty. Protect your investment with Lucas Marine Products.
Lucas Oil, it works.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Clean up your toughest messes super easy, super fast. Only Super Clean is formulated to do the work for you. Just spray it on and watch the grease and grime wash away. Super Clean is the only cleaner degreaser that is scientifically formulated to kick any mess to the curb, so you can move on to more important things. For all of your greasiest, grimiest, toughest tasks around the house, shop, or garage, Super Clean gets the job done. Super Clean, super easy, super fast.
B&M Poles, the #1 crappie pole company in the world. Whether you're jigging, trolling, pulling, or pushing, B&M has your pole. 3rd-generation family company with over 70 years experience. Home to the Bucks Graphite Jig Poles, the first and best-selling graphite jig pole in the U.S. for over 35 years. B&M Poles, official pole of the American Crappie Trail. The American Crappie Trail is brought to you by Lucas Oil Marine Products. Made in America, sold to the world. By Ranger Boats, driven to dominate. Super clean, super easy, super fast, super clean. By General Tire, anywhere is possible. And by these other proud sponsors. Championship Saturday on the American Crappie Trail from Truman Reservoir. Presented by Martin Metal and Rockport Rattler. Our anglers are catching fish despite changing conditions.
You know, our water conditions have not been the best, but the weather for the last couple of days has been fantastic. What do you think that'll do to the fish?
Sam, you're absolutely right. You know, last week it rained about 5-6 inches here, and the lake actually jumped about 5 feet. But the last couple days, it's really stabilized. Now yesterday we had cloudy conditions, which basically meant that those fish that are relating to that vertical cover, they kind of spread out and did a little bit of feeding. They weren't nosed directly right up to that piece.
They got away from that cover a little bit, didn't they?
Absolutely. And our spider riggers, the guys that were actually trolling via visible cover and some of the stuff under the water that they couldn't see, yet they noticed on their electronics, those were the teams that come in with some really good weights.
As a past national champion on both sides, with your experience, what's this sunlight going to do to these fish?
Sam, I really truly feel like being in the middle part of August, these fish are really going to relate to cover more than anything today. They're going to get their face right behind those hedge trees or those stumps that are in the water, and they're just going to sit there. That's typically what crappie do this time of year. They're in survival mode. The water temperatures rise. As long as they have the oxygen content, they have the food, and they have the cover, they're not going anywhere.
Right.
So as long as they feel comfortable, those guys that can take a jig and drop it right in front of their face, they're the ones that are going to prevail today.
Yeah. Let's get out on the water and see what they're doing.
Wes Cooper, fishing solo today, is jigging hardwood with success. One of the hazards of targeting underwater timber is getting hung up or having a fish wrap you around the structure after the bite. Keeping tension on the pole, Wes never gives up on the fish, persistence paying off in the end.
One of the things that you'll notice that's different today than what we saw yesterday, we're on the Grand side, we're in the Grand River today. Yesterday we were in the Osage River. This water's a little bit muddier, we've got a little more sunlight. The thing that I've noticed already about these guys is we're sitting in 10 and a half, 11 feet of water, and they're fishing a lot deeper in the water column than those guys were yesterday. The guys yesterday were fishing 4 to 5 feet, and today they're fishing 7, 8 feet deep. So there's a lot of difference in the technique, and you've got to be able to read those electronics like we talked about yesterday to know where those fish are in that water column.
You can want to see the depth I'm fishing here. That's where we're catching them fish. It's probably about 5 to 6 foot. Any deeper than that, and it seems like the oxygen level's bad. That was what we keyed on yesterday to catch our 1090. I get him.
Hopefully we'll be throwing him back.
Good fish. See how handy that long handle dip net come in then? That fish actually came off, and that partner of his, Mr. Bunny, had that net under that fish, and that fish, he saved that fish. That's the importance of that long handle dip net. Right, Mr. Charlie?
As the day progresses, the weights are tightening up. It's Championship Saturday on the American Crappie Trail from Truman Reservoir. Martin Metal, the specialists for your post frame or stud frame structure. Whether your project is agricultural or residential, we are the one-stop shop for your building needs, with the goal to always provide quality products at competitive prices. With great service, Martin Metal is more than metal. We have our own truss plant for your truss needs. Our lumber yard has the highest grade of lumber available in the area, and our window and door options are as diverse as the buildings we supply for. Martin Metal, where our motto has always been, working hard for your success.
We put the Rockport Rattler to a real test. 2 champion anglers using 4 rods with the competition jigs against 4 rods using the Rockport Rattler. The result, the Rockport Rattler outfished the competition 10-1.
Rockport Rattler, gray head.
This patented rattling jig contains a rattling chamber in the body of the jig. The rattle is amplified by using water as a conductor,
Rockport Rattler,
making fish hear it at much greater distances, just like a dinner bell for fish.
If you don't have a Rockport Rattler, you ain't catching crappie.
Land, water, seed, and sunshine. It's what farmers need to make things grow. At Mid-State Seed, we take pride in our partners and grow friendships too, providing quality seed farmers can count on. From quality control to packaging and shipping, Mid-State Seed works hard to distribute affordable product from America's heartland. Mid-State Seed, firmly planted in partnership.
Lucas Oil's synthetic blend 2-cycle outboard engine oil will not only produce a level of confidence with each trip to the lake, but also provide trust backed by rigorous testing on the track as well as on the water. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-cycle oil has an extensive additive package that will provide clean burning, smooth running, and maximum performance stability to any outboard on the market today. Lucas Synthetic Blend 2-cycle oil will not void your manufacturer's warranty. Protect your investment with Lucas Marine Products.
Lucas Oil, it works.
Final day of the American Crappie Trail on Truman Lake. Ounces separate our leaders with over $55,000 on the line. Truman Reservoir is known for jigging timber that sticks out of the water. Team Bunting is targeting structure that is below the surface and being missed by most of the one-polers.
We're using our 360 right now. We're finding underwater structure. We normally use 16-foot BGJPs when we're trolling, and for this particular technique, we back down to 12-foot ultralight rods. And what we're trying to do is the stuff that's underwater is small, so we're trying to get as many hooks sucked back into the strike zone as we can. Once we get into these trees, it allows us to get a lot tighter to the trees too by using shorter rods. There's so many fish right now that I really believe is just truly running into the bait with their mouth shut.
We know that what we got now is not what we had yesterday. And as far as the bite, yesterday in the afternoon it kind of died like it did today for us. I don't know where we were at, it's got quite a bit of pressure, everybody doing the same thing. And he was there, he stopped it going down. We're just gonna keep plugging along, and we got a little time left, and hopefully we'll just luck into a couple of good fish.
Got one of our strong teams right here. We've got Tim Blackley and Jackie Van Cleve, and they're currently in second place for the B&M Team of the Year. So this team is always competitive. They lost one of our tournaments by 2/100ths of an ounce. They came in second place. But they're always up there in the top 10. They have to be up there in second place. But both of them are experienced anglers. Jackie has fished all his life. He grew up commercial fishing. When he's not fishing, he's guiding duck hunters on Real Foot Lake. Tim is one of the best crappie fishermen that I've ever seen, and he also has been doing it all his life.
Travis and Charlie Bunting continued to put fish in the boat. They were only 3,500ths behind the leaders coming into Championship Saturday.
I don't think so.
Barry Morrow and Chad Moppet started the day just outside the top 10. Hoping the leaders stumble, they continued to put a good limit together. With time running out on Truman Reservoir, the pressure starts to mount on the American Crappie Trail, presented by Martin Metal and Rockport Rattler. B&M Poles, the #1 crappie pole company in the world. Whether you're jigging, trolling, pulling, or pushing, B&M has your pole. Third-generation family company with over 70 years experience. Home to the Bucks Graphite Jig Poles, the first and best-selling graphite jig pole in the U.S. for over 35 years. B&M Poles, official pole of the American Crappie Trail.
Launching a Ranger aluminum boat that's cut full of holes may sound a little crazy, but with so much closed-cell foam inside, it's easy to see the added safety and stability. It's a huge confidence booster, especially with so much quality inside, along with ever-new E-Tech's unrivaled performance and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Ranger aluminum is built to excel and priced to be yours.
Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
The outboards that are changing everything. Easy to own and fun to drive. The Evinrude E-Tech G2, now from 150 to 300 horsepower.
And it was just so easy to drive, not having to worry about the trim. I could just gas it and go, and that's where I fell in love with the engine.
I could drive my boat literally with one finger.
In terms of just convenience, easy for me, the G2 is perfect.
I wanted something my wife could drive with ease.
I love my G2.
For details, visit evinrude.com.
From the tackle store to your truck, to your boat on the lake, back to the ramp, and all the way home. Angle Coolers have you covered.
For over 30 years, Lucas Oil has provided the very best products for the land and sea. From this success stems another amazing product from the Lucas Marine lineup, Lucas Slick Mist Marine Speed Wax. Just spray it on and wipe it off. Lucas Marine Speed Wax will make your boat look brand new and provide great UV protection. Apply Lucas Marine Slick Mist to wet and dry surfaces in sunlight or shade. It's ideal in both fresh and saltwater application and prevents hard water deposits. Protect your investment with Lucas Marine products.
Lucas Oil, it works.
The American Crappie Trail is brought to you by B&M Fishing, quality performance and service for over 70 years. By Mid-State Seed, firmly planted in partnership. Martin Metal, your source for quality buildings, roofing, and lumber. By Evinrude, official engine of the American Crappie Trail. And by these other proud sponsors. Final hours of the American Crappie Trail from Truman Reservoir. Less than a pound separates our top 10 teams. One kicker fish could make a significant difference in where a team ends up at the end of the day. Charlie and Travis Bunting are upgrading with every fish. Our leaders, Dant and Zufall, have seen a reduction in the size they are catching today.
Yesterday was probably the best day we ever had on this. That might help. We'll see.
Ronnie Capps and Steve Coleman are also finding day 2 more challenging. With moments left in regulation, Morrow and Moppet put another keeper in the boat.
That's it, fellas.
Done deal now.
Good show.
Nothing but the crying now.
Time expires on day 2 as our anglers head back to weigh in. Once back at weigh-in, our leaders are less than confident.
We had 2 good big fish yesterday that we don't have today.
We had some real nice 2 big fish yesterday, exactly. But today we'll have a nice bag, but not quite like yesterday.
The weights started to rise as our teams bring their bags to the scales.
Team Rockport Rattler guys. Jason, how you doing?
A lot better than yesterday.
Boy, you did. Look at this. 10-17, put your total up at 1748, moved right into the lead. Tyler Englehart and Cole Cool. How you doing, guys?
Not too bad.
Not too bad? No, not too bad at all. You got 916, that's gonna put you at 1846 and put you in first place right now.
Making the Evinrude hard charge of the day is the team of Jeff Lewis and Matt Beckman.
And he's throwing the fish in there, and let's see what we got. Oh, look at this. 1101, you sacked him, buddy.
Had a good day.
You sacked him, look at that. 2045, put you way up there in first place.
Lewis and Beckman jump from 16th to take a commanding lead and the hot seat. They must weather the top 10 teams still to weigh in.
Power Pole sponsored Ranger Bass Boats, Charles Bunning and Travis Bunning. All right, Travis, got 7 in there today. 989, just a hair short. 959. Let's give it up for Ronnie Capps and Steve Coleman. All right, brother. 988 puts you up there. Look out. Oh my goodness, 917, just a hair short, Steve.
Still standing, Lewis and Beckman face one last team. Our day 1 leaders, Jim Dant and Ron Zufall. Dant and Zufall need just 9.36 to win the American Crappie Trail from Truman Lake.
Matt says it's going to be really close. Here we go, guys. 9:05, not enough to do it. No. Matt Beckman, you guys are our Truman Lake champions right here. Came from out of the top 10, Jeff Lewis.
You know, Matt, this has been a great tournament here at Truman Reservoir. The tournament was won by 2 phenomenal fishermen. The catch was wonderful. The weather cooperated. It's been a great tournament.
It has, Sam. You know, the people here at Clinton at Bucksall Resort and Marina, the hospitality was like no other.
Unbelievable.
I'm excited for Beckman and Lewis. They come from 16th place after day 1 to come back and win the Truman Reservoir tournament and take home the title along with a Ranger RT 188C boat with a 115 horsepower Evinrude motor. Awesome day for them. It was a supercharge, but you know what, Sam? We've got something coming up in October.
I know what's coming next. We've got our championship on Lake of the Ozarks. That's going to be a huge tournament. We're giving away prize boats. We're giving away contingencies. It's going to be phenomenal. Whatever you do, make sure that you don't miss our next show when we start the first day of the championship on Lake of the Ozarks.